years.
Wow, 35 years in prison. Is that 35 to life or
No, 35.
So just 35
He'll
years.
probably be eligible for parole after 2025.
25 years or something. Look, so black teenager you see on screen, he was at a track meet at a different school. He walked over to the tent of the other team, which is not allowed. He walked over, went into the tent. All the team members and anybody standing around told him to leave. He refused to leave. He said, make me leave. So Austin Metcalf went down and said, come on, man, you got to leave. He said, make me leave and see what happens. And Austin Metcalf just put his hands on him, didn't like attack him or anything, just kind of put his hands on him and said, come on, man, you got to go. Karmelo Anthony pulled out a knife, stabbed him in the chest, took him out.
Got his heart.
Got him right in the heart. Kid died on the spot.
Yep.
Karmelo Anthony just tossed the knife on the ground and or like tossed the knife to hide it or something. Then his mom came and his mom tried to hide the evidence, all this crazy stuff that happened. But there's a couple of things I'm curious about. Let's play this clip real quick, and then I want to ask you a couple of things.
I mean, I'm questioning the jury. I'm asking them, how did you reach your verdict? How did you reach it so quickly? What happened? It was a 4-inch knife. He used it one time. He was pushed. I'm not saying
that part. It was a 4-inch knife. He only used it one time. It's like, what?
I want to discuss the liberal media's reaction to this, but
it was a 9mm pistol. He only shot it one time.
Yeah, like, man. Just like
that it was right, but what are you doing? How did you get this verdict? I'd want to know. My whole identity as a defense attorney would be in question, right? I'm questioning my identity right now, and I have nothing to do with this case. How could you come back like that? I would be enraged. I'm enraged right now. This is very upsetting. And then on top of it, to compound it, this dumb judge didn't allow cameras in the courtroom. What was your wisdom? What were you thinking? How you put on a robe? Are you that much of an imbecile that you won't let cameras in the courtroom in a case like this?
Yeah, how is court TV supposed to make money if you don't let their cameras in the courtroom?
The judge didn't want a freaking circus in his courtroom. No. Like the judge was trying to give this kid the most fair trial he could by not making it a media circus. So he says no cameras in the courtroom. Father McDonald's saying he's able to watch from locals via Apple TV. Whatever, we're doing it here. He didn't want a circus going on in his courtroom. So he said to get the cameras out of there.
Mm-hmm.
The way people are reacting, I heard one guy say, there's the people there who are supporting Austin Metcalf. They should just leave. They won now. Why are they even there anymore? Why do you have to rub it in? And it's like, if the situation was the other way around and Karmelo Anthony had won, would he be telling his supporters to leave? Oh, you won. What are you standing around there for, right? No way. Of course not. These people are acting like this kid was an innocent kid who did nothing wrong. He took the life of another person for absolutely no reason. Mm-hmm. Like he just killed the kid in cold blood for absolutely no reason. The mother and father, this kid,
of Austin.
No. There's a couple things going on. The father of Austin Metcalf, right off the bat, came out and was like offering his sympathy for the mother of Karmelo Anthony, saying he forgave Karmelo Anthony right off the bat, like right when this happened. Everybody was like
most
outraged.
Man alive.
Yeah, like everybody was like outraged by this, right? The mother of Karmelo Anthony, they raised like $600,000 or $700,000 for this kid's legal $900,000 for this kid's legal defense. The parents went and bought themselves a new BMW. They went and bought themselves a new Cadillac truck. They went and rented.
They're renting a $900,000 mansion. That's right. Sorry.
Yeah. So they
raised $500,000.
Yeah, I think it was $600,000 they raised. They go and rent this mansion in a gated community, buy themselves 2 cars, and they leave Karmelo Anthony with a public defender.
Can you imagine how pissed off you'd be if you're one of the people in the gated community? You're like, the people we pay to keep out of here are now inside the fence?
Dude, but think about what selfish, scummy people his parents are. His parents, absolute awful people. Look, and I'll say the same thing about that girl, Sharilla, who killed her boyfriend in the car. Did you see
Oh,
that
yeah, I
crash
know what you're talking about.
documentary?
Yeah. I didn't see the documentary, but I know what you're talking about.
This girl went and crashed her car, killed the boyfriend on purpose. And the parents, instead of like trying to get this girl to learn some lesson from this and maybe come out, they gassed her up and made her and telling her she did nothing wrong. It's like psychotic behavior to do. Like this kid threw his whole life away by stabbing another kid for absolutely no reason. The parents they're disgusting human beings, the two of them. Like the only thing that would make this verdict any better is if the parents were locked up in prison also. What I'm curious about, because I have a couple of questions. Like, first off, how did they get an all-white jury?
It wasn't all white. There were just no blacks. So I think there were probably some Latinos on the jury.
How did they?
But it wasn't.
How did they pull that off?
Well, so I've heard one. In jury selection, one of the three black potential jurors was asked if he could find another black guilty, and he said something along the lines of, "I would feel bad for putting a brother in prison." So that basically gave the prosecution immediate cause to get rid of him. And then the other, I think all three of them were teachers, and the prosecution, well, both sides. There's a certain number of jurors they can potential jurors that they can strike for no reason at all.
Yeah.
Right. So the three that the prosecution struck were all black, but they were also all teachers, and teachers often have a hard time finding, students or people of student age guilty for crimes. The jury selection used Jedi mind tricks. How would you feel if you didn't have breakfast today?
Yeah, you ruined. That would have been such a good line. You ruined it. Oh my goodness!
What the prosecution did is they played a very short, high pitched beep, and anyone that didn't hear it, out right away.
I had a fight with the guy at the gas station. We get gas out at work. Because for 3 months, that fire alarm chirp was going off. And I'm like, bro, if you don't put batteries in that fire alarm, I'm calling the fire department and I'm having you arrested for 3 months.
Surprised you didn't buy batteries and go put them in your cell phone.
It was an Indian guy too. I was like, I guess the Indians don't hear the chirp either. So, all right. So an all-white jury. Now, here's what worries me about juries.
Yeah.
Okay, so 3 jurors are allowed. Okay, so 3 jurors are allowed to be rejected by either side. Yeah,
for no reason.
Here's my worry about juries.
Yep,
is that they're supposed to just be a random selection from the jury pool, but because we allow so much personal information on our phones these days, I really do worry that the government can narrow down that random selection to a very they know which way people are going to vote in a jury pool before they're even in there.
I mean, okay, a lot of this stuff, like this isn't like a federal court, right? Like this is a lot of times these are county courts, and your average county has a hard time, making sure the streets are plowed. I guess I'm not worried they're secret masterminds looking through all my
federal is way more worrisome though, because federal now you got intel agencies involved.
Like if you're talking about trial for treason, sure, I get it.
Well, no, like even Derek Chauvin on his I think they knew they wanted a certain outcome on Chauvin's trial, even though that was state too, right? Because he got convicted state and federal. But
Minneapolis is way different than wherever in Texas.
Yeah, the genetic makeup of that town.
Ocean realizes he's not the only black person that listens to our show.
No, I think most of our audiences, not most, but we have a very significant non-white.
There is a greater than average percentage of Latino and Asian guys that watch our show wearing wife beaters.
We're good dudes, man. We don't care.
I love them.
I don't the Indian base of AB. Yeah, I don't know. I don't care too much about that stuff. But I do think I worry about jury selections and stuff because look, all I'm saying is they kind of picked the perfect recipe for unrest. An all-white jury convicts the black guy, gets him guilty of the most serious charge, and gives him the harshest penalty. Like, it's because people don't actually listen to, especially because it wasn't allowed to be filmed, right? So there's no
Right.
clips of the witness testimony. It's like, if you want to know what happened, you have to go and read witness testimony.
Mm-hmm.
And we know certain segments of the population ain't reading witness testimony. That's all I'm saying. It basically seems like the perfect recipe to cause unrest. Now, do you think there will be civil unrest from this? I don't think it's a good case for it, but
yes and no. Like there will be some, right? But I think you're right. I don't think it's not going to have legs. Like I don't think your leftist